Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the social science class. This is class 6th and chapter number 4 of geography. We will continue. As we have already covered lecture number 1 of this chapter, map. Today we are going to take its lecture number 2. In lecture number 1, we have already covered some topics like map, atlas, the types of maps, directions, and compass. So, the topics that we will discuss in today's lecture are components of a map. Components of map are very much important to understand a map. What are the components? Distance, directions, symbols. Then we will take sketch, what does it mean, and plan. And we will also take how plan and globe, they are different from a map. So the topics to be discussed in today's lecture are components of map, sketch, plan. So let's start with the topics. Components of a map: distance, direction, and symbols. These are very important to understand a map. Distance, as we know that we can't take the same part of area of the actual ground on the map. So, to reduce that distance, we take scale. So, that is very important to understand the map. Then directions. We must know about the directions, then we will be able to understand about the different places. Then symbols. We use different type of symbols in maps. So that is also important to learn about the map, the symbols we must know. So these are the components of the map. First is distance. Maps are drawing, as we discussed in previous lecture, that it is the drawing of the earth surface or any of its part, or it's the flat representation of earth surface. So the maps are drawing which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper. As we already discussed that we can't take actual distance of the ground on paper, that's why the scales are used. Isn't it? Can we take the actual ground, the same part or the same distance of the actual ground on the paper to draw? No, it is not possible. So to reduce that entire world or any of its part to fit on a sheet of paper, we use scales. Scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map or the paper. As we discussed in previous lecture also, the map is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground or distance on the paper between 2 points. That is known as scale. There are the two types of scale: large scale and small scale. Large scale. It shows small areas with great detail. Means large scale we use to show small areas, and if we take small area, we represent small area on a sheet of paper, definitely it will give the more details about that area. So the large scale is the scale that shows small areas with great detail. Why does it give great detail? Because we are taking small area. If the same paper we are using for the large area to represent, definitely it will give the less information. So the small area with great detail means where we are taking small area to represent, so there we can get the more details of that area. For example, 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meter. It means 1 centimeter of the paper is representing 100 meters of the actual ground. So this is all about the large scale. Then small scale. It shows large areas with great detail. As same paper we are taking and the large area we have to represent there. So definitely that will be able to give less detail to us. So that is small scale. And for example, 1 centimeter is equal to 500 kilometers. It means 1 centimeter of the paper is showing 500 kilometers of the actual ground. So this is all about the two types of scale, large scale and small scale. Large scale is able to give more detail than the small scale. So clear, I think? Large scale shows small area with great detail and it gives us more information. Small scale shows large areas with less detail. It gives us the less information about the large area. This is all about the types of scale. The second component is direction. If you have seen most of the map, they have an arrow sign there on right hand side on the top where N is written. That represents that the north direction. And if we know the north direction, we can easily find out the other directions also. So most of the map contain an arrow marked with letter N, capital N, at the upper right hand corner. On the right hand, on the top, we see the capital N, which represents the north direction. And direction is really important to know about the different places. To understand a map in better way, we must know the directions of the places. So that letter N represents north direction, and if there is north direction in that side, opposite to it there will be south direction. In our right hand side there will be east direction and left hand side there will be west direction. So this is all about how it is important and how we come to know the directions on the map. This arrow shows north direction. If we know north direction, we can easily find other directions as well. The next component of map is symbol. In the different maps, we see different symbols, different signs that help us to find out different things there on the map. It is not possible to draw actual shape and size of different features like road, temple, bridges, rivers, etc. Is it possible to draw the same size and same shape on the paper or on the map as it is there on the actual ground? No, it is not possible. So, to remove that problem, the different symbols have been taken. So, we use different colors, shapes, lines, etc. These are called symbols. Colors are basically used for the physical features. For the different physical features like the brown color is used to show mountains, yellow color is used to show plateau, green color is used to show plains. So the colors are mainly used to show different physical features. As we always see the blue color, then we can assume that water body is present there. Different shapes like shape of temple, shape of mosque, then lines, the boundary lines of the country, the boundaries of the states, and different roads, even different type of lines are used. So different symbols we use there on the map. Then conventional symbol. What does it mean? The symbols used in various maps all over the world are called conventional symbols. The different symbols that are used in the different maps all over the world, they are known as conventional symbol. We will study some of the conventional symbol. Like here we can see railway line. In the different type of railway lines we have broad gauge and meter gauge, narrow gauge. So these are three different types of railway lines. But here which are given broad gauge and the meter gauge. And the last symbol, it is showing the railway station RS. Then roads, metalled, unmetalled. So these type of lines or dots are used for them. Boundaries, if we take international, state, district. So there are also different type of dots or the lines are used for these boundaries. Then river, well, tank, canal, bridge. For these different type of shapes are used. Then different religious places like temple, church, mosque, chhatri. So these are the different symbols for these religious places. PO for post office, PTO post and telegram office, PS for police station. Then settlement means here the people are living. Graveyard, then trees, grass. So these are the conventional symbols. Those are used in various maps all over the world. Then importance of symbols. Why these symbols are important? Symbols play a very important role in guidance of any traveler. Any stranger, if is going anywhere, the person can understand easily by using the maps. And in those maps, different symbols are shown. It will be easy for that traveler to identify the places. They also give us a lot of information in limited place. As we have a paper only, so in that limited place, they are able to give us a lot of information. Even less educated people can understand the information given in map. If a person is able to read or write, that person can see the map and it will be easy for him to understand by using different symbols. If he will see the symbols, he will be able to know the different places. So these are importance of symbols. If less educated people can also understand, and a lot of information are given in limited place, and it plays very important role in guidance of the travelers. Sketch and plan, how they are different from map. if we talk about sketch, basically sketch is not based on any of the scale. This is the just based on our memory. We can take example. If anyone asks you where is post office, what you will reply? You will reply that you will go straight, then you will turn left, and you will turn right, then the T point is there, and there you will find the post office. So based on your memory you are telling, you have not used any of the scale. So what is sketch? Drawing based on memory and spot observation. You will just draw a rough map there, rough sketch there of that particular place to help that person. So the sketch is the drawing based on memory or the spot observation. It is not drawn with the help of scale. No scale is used in sketch, just based on memory. Then plan. Drawing of small area on a large scale. Basically, planes are there for the small areas. We plan for a house, we plan for the garden, we plan for the multi-storied building. So the plan is there for the small areas and they are drawn on large scales. We know that large scales gives the large information or the great information about small areas. For example, plan of a map, room, garden, building, school, any company. So, plan is the drawing of small areas. And sketch is totally different. Sketch is just based on our memory that we draw to help anyone or for our memory only. And this is not based on any of the scale. So this is all about map, sketch, plan. And as well we have done the globe also. Now, how map is different from globe? Or we can say how map is better than globe. If the question is there, how can we define that map is better than globe? Or how can we differentiate map and globe? Map, it is drawing of the earth. Globe, it is model of the map. A map can show a small areas as well, as we have done that the earth surface or any of its part it can show. But globe cannot give information about small areas. We can study the entire earth in globe at one time. Map, it is easy to carry. Globe, it is difficult to carry because map can be folded. Then fourth, a map can be seen completely at one time. Map, when we open the paper, we can see the complete map in one time. But we can see only half portion of the globe in one time. To see the another half, we have to rotate that globe. So these are some difference between map and globe. Then map and plan. How they are different. A map shows large area. A plan shows a small area. Large area like continents, countries, world, state, etc. The small area like the room, garden, building, school, etc. Map. The map is drawn on a small scale such as 1 centimeter is equal to 500 kilometer. If we compare map and plan, the plan is drawn on a large scale such as 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meter, as we are taking the small areas to show there in the plan. Colors are mostly used in maps, as we have taken the example of physical features. Different physical features are shown by different colors. But plans, they are mostly simple. Then only important features can be shown in brief on a map. If we take the large area, definitely we will be able to show that area in brief. But in plan, as we are taking the small area, so details of small areas can be shown on a plan. Small area is there to show, so we can easily show that particular area with great detail. So these are some differences between map and plan. So we have discussed in the chapter about the components of map, direction, distance, symbol, different types of scale, large scale, small scale. Then we have taken sketch and plan. Then we differentiated between globe and map and plan. Now, it's turn for today's homework. Based on today's lecture, how are maps more helpful than a globe? Here you can write the difference between map and globe. Distinguish means differentiate basically between a map and a plan, that we have already done. How do symbols help in reading map? How the symbols that we use there in the maps, they are helpful in reading map. What are the three components of a map? Here the three components you will tell that are important to understand a map. So these 4 questions you will do in your fair register. Now it's turn for homework solution of lecture 1. In lecture 1, the 4 questions were assigned to you. So let's see the answers. You please match your answers. If any of the mistake or any of the wrong spelling is there in your register, please check it and correct it. The question number 1 was given. What are the 4 cardinal directions? The 4 cardinal directions are north, south, east and west. They are also known as cardinal points. What do you mean by the term the scale of the map? Ratio between the distance on the paper and distance on the ground is defined as the scale. This is the definition of the scale of the map. For example, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometer. Here 1 centimeter represents the 5 kilometers of the ground. So 1 centimeter on the paper representing 5 kilometers of actual ground. This is about the scale of the map. The third question was define compass. An instrument which is used to find out directions is known as compass. Its needle always points towards north direction. The question number 4, what are the 3 types of map? The 3 types of map are physical map. It shows physical or natural features of the earth like mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, hill ranges, etc. Political map. Second is political map. They show only city, town, state, countries, continent with their boundaries. Thematic map. It shows specific information about something, or you can say the special information about something. For example, road map, rainfall map, maps showing distribution of the forest or distribution of industries, or distribution of rain in the country or in state. So these are the three types of map. Sorry. So we have completed our chapter with these lectures. I hope that you have understood the chapter. Thank you. Have a nice